Bwana asifiwe. Maybe the better way of introducing me is not about Taruma, but the fact that at least I've been involved with the Christian Union from the first meeting I attended in 1973 during the university mission to date. Those are how many years? Who are the mathematicians? We had many engineers, they normally know how to calculate. That's how many years? 45. And at least I was at Alliance High School in 1973 when I was finishing, when our teacher who was involved with the International Fellowship of Evangelical Students told us about a very important meeting because John Stott, who was even then one of the world-renowned speakers, was going to speak in the Christian Union here. And although I came to the university in 74, we came here and listened to John Stott. One of the things that I think as we celebrate, we need to remember is that the Christian unions in those first years, now that time I didn't know, but now I know that 73, the CU was not very old. Because they had just done 67, and they had not done 77 yet. So it was still a teenager. And one of the things that that was central to the Christian Union was the university mission. And it occurred to me last week, I was speaking to the CU leaders of Mount Kenya region. And I discovered these days, we do not remember the CU with the university mission. We remember the CU with the mission outside. Am I right? Now, and that's something that's also good. We hardly did missions outside as much. And we have to thank God for the way the CU has become outward going for mission. And part of that is the product of commission from 1988. But one of the things I'm feeling the loss, and during a celebration, that's when you remember things, is the university mission does not have as much emphasis as the mission outside. Students, am I right? Am I right? Yeah, that's something that in this celebration we need to go back to. Because I want to emphasize the existence of the Christian Union. The major existence of a Christian Union is the existence of a watchman. Our major job as Christian Union is to be watchman for the University of Nairobi or any other university that's a Christian Union. I take that from Ezekiel, who tells the prophets that you need to understand you are a watchman. If an enemy is coming, and you do not tell the city about the enemy coming, if they are destroyed, their blood will be required out of your hands. Are we together? Similarly, if you tell them and they do nothing about it, then their blood will not be required out of your hands. And one of the things we're celebrating in the Christian Union is that in those first 30, 40 years of the Christian Union, the emphasis was, before we can go out of Jerusalem, our big emphasis is on Jerusalem. Or like I was sharing with those CU leaders in Mount Kenya region, we have come to where the chairman of the Christian Union sees himself as the chairman of these few students who come. The idea we had those years that the chairman of the CU is somebody who is thinking about the whole university seems to have gone. So when you ask the CU how well they are doing, it's in terms of talking to other students. But the university mission used to be one time when the CU made sure every living thing on campus was challenged with the gospel. I was chairman of this Christian Union 75, 76. So you hear 1973, it was John Stott who came. 1976, it was Festo Kivengere, who is also a renowned speaker. Since then, he has died. And again, in our planning of the university mission, we had to plan how the cooks will be reached and what kind of meetings can reach the cooks. The groundsmen, what kind of meetings will reach the groundsmen. The lecturers, the Christian lecturers helped us to organize dinners where Professor would talk with the lecturers and the university administration. And then we were going from room to room to ensure every student in every corner of the university has heard the gospel. And so you knew, as you left the university, you could easily say, these people have heard, or the only ones who are not Christians are those who have become rebels. But you know, many people think university students are rebels. But as I talk to people after campus, many of them have never been confronted with the gospel. And I thought during this celebration, if I don't pass any other message, I need to pass the message that the CU is not a fellowship of students who help themselves. Am I communicating? The CU are watchmen. If anybody in the University of Nairobi does not get confronted by the gospel, his blood, her blood, will be required out of our hands. So as we come to this day of celebrating, we actually not 60 years or 61, but let's call it 60. One of the things we need to ask ourselves, in the years that are coming, if Jesus tarries, how are we going to reorganize the Christian Union to ensure that everybody has heard the gospel? As we put money to going for mission, to Marsabit and elsewhere, it cannot be the priority if there is somebody on campus who has not heard the gospel. Jesus told them, wait in Jerusalem. You'll be full of the Spirit. And when you're full of the Spirit, how will you know? You'll be my disciples to the uttermost parts of the earth. Is that what the Bible says? No. It says, first of all, where? Jerusalem. Only then do you go where? And after that you go to the uttermost parts of the earth. So it's important that I thought one of my main message will be that we can turn our direction towards the student, towards the lecturers, to ensure that whichever campus we are talking about, people will be confronted by the gospel. Let me tell you my definition of the Christian Union. The Christian Union is a members club that exists for non-members. Did you hear me? What a Christian Union? A members club that exists for members. And that's where Jesus defines the church also. It's a members club. What do I mean? We are evangelical. You look at the statement of faith, both of Focus and of the Christian Union. We are evangelicals. We believe for you to go to heaven, you must accept your sinfulness and acknowledge the sacrificial death of Jesus Christ on the cross, and then ask Him to be the Lord of your life. You cannot be a member of the Christian Union if you are not born again. So the thing is a members club because we do not allow people who are not born again to become members. The only one who can become members are the ones who are blind. But if you tell us the truth, we will not allow you to become a Christian Union member until you are born again. Just a members club. That's why there must be a system that ensures that CU members are questioned. They sign a form. At least when I came in 1974, I was made to sign a form to confess that I have accepted, that I know Jesus as my personal Savior. It is after I signed the form that in 1974, I was asked to become the prayer secretary, the Bible study coordinator, the external correspondence secretary. I was doing 3 jobs in one. This day is going to do one. But I was not allowed to enter into leadership until they verified and I signed on a form that I am born again, that I know Jesus Christ. And I'm saying, even as you celebrate, that's a very important thing to retain. You cannot call yourself a Christian Union if any Tom, Dick, Harry, Wajiko, Atieno can enter whichever way they want. A members club, you don't just allow anybody to come. unless he's invited. And that's what the Christian union must remain. A members club. But the only difference with this members club, and I'm a member of a club, but we, where I'm a member of the club, outsiders are not allowed. This one is different. It's a members club that exists for non-members. In other words, we as members, our major job is to help the non-members. In fact, I tell churches, you can always tell a biblically based church by looking at their budget. How much of the money raised was used by the members? It is the majority. That's not a Christian church. Because you see, we say it's a members club that exists for non-members. It means we members must continue contributing, but not eating. We contribute so that the money can help non-members. We need to find out all the offerings we are getting. How much of them are going towards reaching people in campus and out of campus? How much of it is eaten by us as members? And I'm not suggesting it's wrong to take tea, but you need to be aware you're not supposed to take all the tea. Most of the tea must go. That's what it means to be a members club that exists for non-members. And so I thought as we come to this time of celebration, I will emphasize the fact that one of the things we are celebrating are the many people who met the Lord in the last 60 years on campus because of university missions. I've concentrated 7 days of moving from corner to corner of every department to ensure that people have been confronted with the gospel. Remember, it's not our business to save. That's not our business. Jesus never gave us that business. Our business is to share the gospel. I discovered in 1974, when I went for my first coffee house. Do you still do coffee house? Do you still do coffee house? Now, we are celebrating, so it's good to remember. I've told you one of the things that I remember 1933 when I entered was the university mission. The second thing, just before I entered, the second thing was as first years. They announced that there were posters all over campus asking first years that there are special occasions set up for them. They don't have to pay. Come to see Central Catering Unit. Did you heard that? And come to Central Catering Unit. And there will be tea and coffee and yum-yums. I never knew what yum-yums were. But I came to find out what yum-yums were. And when you came, it was about, Leah would have to remind me, but it was not the full week, but most of the week. When we, every evening, would go to Central Catering Unit, there will be a band, with instruments you have never seen in high school, but proper band that will be singing. And then, the CU used to rotate itself around the tables. We were told no more than 2 Christians to be on any table, so that the majority will be non-Christians. So you get 2 of you there, 2 of you there, the non-Christians come. They were not coming to hear the word, they were coming for yam-yams, but it was okay. Now once the pastor came to speak, he would speak. He was not allowed to speak for more than 15 minutes. The sermon was called a sermonette. He would only speak for 15 minutes only. Because remember, these students don't want to hear. And if he talks longer, they tell him, go home. I hope you stop doing that. But that's what speakers used to be told. When you take too long, I hope you don't tell me. But when you talk too long, the students will start shouting, go home. So if you don't want to be told, go home, you have to say all you are saying within 15 minutes. Remember, all that time they are waiting for the coffee and yam-yams. So finally, we pray and have the yam-yams. As we are taking the yam-yams, some of the student leaders are distributing, others are seated, you start talking to them. And the good thing about university students, they are willing to engage you. So you say, you want to say, oh, we have had a speaker, what do you think about it? Then Christians are ready to tell you what they think about it. So it's not difficult. And I pray that God will help me to represent him. And of course, most of the students are older than me, or at least wiser than me, because they are higher classes. Now, as we are talking, every question the people around my table ask, every one of them, some I was able to answer. Finally, They started going quiet. So I asked them, any more questions? No. May I pray for you to get saved? They all burst into laughter. I discovered all I had managed to do is to convince them. But nobody gets saved because they are convinced. They get saved because they are convicted. None can convince. Only the Holy Spirit can. I have never forgotten that experience in 1974. From then onwards, I've witnessed in the country and out of the country, but I came to discover God never gave me the business of saving, because I can't convict. Only the Holy Spirit can convict. And that thing that I experienced in the University of Nairobi Christian Union has helped me. Because I'm able now to just share with someone, believing that God will convict, will do the job necessary. The other day I was invited by some group to speak in a conference in Los Angeles. And as I was coming back, I have a habit of not choosing a seat when they ask me, which seat do you want? I say, whichever. Because I pray that whoever will be my seatmate will be a candidate for the gospel. And I have no idea who it will be. Only for me to sit and discover the person next to me is an Iranian. And I wonder, where do we begin? You know, you are planning because you know you pray. You want to witness. And you want almost to give up until you remember 1974. It's not my business to convict. My business is to tell. The Holy Spirit can. I think then you still keep wondering, where do you begin? Will he understand? Does he know enough English? What will happen? But the trouble is, it's 8 hours from Los Angeles to Amsterdam. So you sleep, you wake up, the Holy Spirit still says you haven't done it. And it's the fact that I had learned in 1974 my business to share. I finally, now I'm started. It turned out the lady wasn't the husband as I thought. She told me she knows something about the Bible because her son has a Christian friend. I fetched out my Gideon Bible, and I told her about the Bible and his word. Then I offered to give her the Bible. My friend, she was so excited. In fact, as we are in Amsterdam, she said, did you really allow me to go with this Bible? And yet I would have been afraid of sharing the gospel if it were not for God in the Christian Union of Nairobi teaching me. It's not my job to save. My job is to share. When God will give you a reward for serving Him, it will not be for how many people came to the Lord through you. It will be for how many people you witnessed to. I'm not communicating. Yes. And it's important. That's why I'm celebrating maybe the events of Nairobi Christian Union. Why? It taught me. Number one, I told you, it taught me the importance of, what to dry out Scotch mentality. Trying to do witnessing where you reach everyone. But number two, learning that it is not me to save. It's God who does save. Again, we have to ask ourselves, if it was that good, how come we don't do it? Students, are you hearing me? Yes. Although it's not just students, even some associates stopped before. You are not the ones to blame. It is his own associate who stopped it. So we want to cover the stopping. Now, and because they are here, they might tell us why they stopped. And that's something that certainly helped me in a big way. And it's my prayer that even as we are with this campus, we'll look for creative ways of engaging non-Christians with the gospel of Jesus Christ. Creative ways. Well, surely. The third thing that I want to remember in talking about and celebrating the Christian Union was something I learned. Again, it sounds like 1974 was one of my biggest learning experiences. The thing I learned was that we were a fellowship, fellows in the same ship. In other words, because the Christian Union is a fellowship, we are fellows in the same ship. What does that mean? We care for one another. You know, if you are inside a ship, if your friend starts making a hole to find out what will happen, we allow you to finish. Because you remember, as soon as it is covered, water can come out. All of you will see. So, we were taught we are fellows in the same ship. It means if you see someone digging, You can't allow them to succeed. In fact, even if they insult you, you plead with them and beg them to stop giving. And that way, although we are much smaller Christian union, we used to meet in a Arabic chapel, which could only take about 300, 330 or thereabout. We knew everybody. Everybody knew. If you tell me you are a Christian and you are here between 74 and 77, and I don't know you, I start becoming suspicious. Now, because we knew everybody else. Because we cared for one another. And they taught us a statement, which I've never forgotten and have shared as I've gone to universities all over. I've shared it. We were told, with the Christians, you socialize. With the non-Christians, you evangelize. Never evangelize the Christians and never socialize the non-Christians. I have never forgotten. We were told you must relate with both. There is no place for holy clubs. Christians who do not want to sit in the city, in the central unit, on a table with non-Christians. How many of them? Christians must meet with non-Christians. The only difference is, you know if you sit with them, you don't socialize. You evangelize. What's the difference between evangelizing and socializing? Socializing is having common norms, living in agreement, becoming one in culture. We were told you can't do that. Amos 3:3. Two do not walk together unless they are agreed. And 1 Corinthians 6. What fellowship has light and darkness? And it's something I learned in the Christian Union, for which I'm celebrating. And praying that will be true. Number one, the learning that I must always have non-Christian friends whom I'm trying to draw into the kingdom. When I say about friends, they may be your cousins, they may be your relatives. You need to engage them in a friendly way. It's called friendship evangelism. People in your hall, people who are in the shower with you. You notice, when people are in a shower, they sing. Now, you know that guy is an Christian, but they sing a Christian song. So you can find out, even over the shower. Hey, you know Christian songs? That's the beginning. I'm not going to let you think. Because you are engaging. Your work is to evangelize. Your work is to meet with them with the aim of helping them. You find one of your classmates is somebody who understands mathematics better than you. You go, within no time, you can help the teacher teach. So you befriend him. And he's a non-Christian. So I don't quite understand what the teacher said. And then he starts showing you. Because he enjoys showing you. What is it? Then as he's showing you, you know mathematics is not your problem. The path is, how can I bring him to Jesus? So as he's talking to you about mathematics, you turn to him and say, young man, do you thank God for being so clever? Me, I struggle. We are in the same class, I didn't understand. You understand it. God loves you. How do you respond to his love? Now that's the beginning of a discussion, isn't it? Because he is happy to know you recognize how great he is. But because you recognize him, you open him to talk. And many people come to know the Lord because they are clever. Am I communicating? Yeah. The other time is the other way around. You are the cleverer one. The non-Christian is not clever. Remember, you must let non-Christians in order to evangelize them. So somebody says, I didn't understand what was happening. Oh, I'm happy to show you. But when can I come to your room? He doesn't even have to come to your room. You start showing him. You start showing him. He starts understanding. And you start telling him, by the way, when you asked me to show you, I knew I cannot refuse. Why? I'm a Christian. And I know the things God has given me. I'm a steward. My most recent book is called Stewardship. I'm a steward of the knowledge God has given me. It's my responsibility to help you. Anytime you have a difficulty, come to me anytime. Because God has asked me to. That's what it means to be a Christian. Hasn't the discussion started? Now you need to understand, I learned. And that's something I practiced. It's more than 40 years since I left campus. And it's something I practiced in my professional life. Learned that I can now relate with the people And out of that, people come to know the Lord. Well, if you want to know a bit of my story, read my book, The Christian Professional. But I wrote it just after I retired. Since then, I do consultancy work. And initially, I asked myself, exactly how do you continue this discussion of evangelizing your colleagues? And I didn't know how to do it until I was doing a petroleum workshop somewhere. And as I was doing the petroleum workshop, one of the guys said, "Can I talk to you?" So after he said, "Yes," I was just outside. We agreed to talk. And then he said, "I'd like you to be my mentor." Of course, he is not after Christianity. What is impressing me is the fact that I was working in the biggest oil company then, and I went right up to top management. So he wants to be helped to go the career ladder. I say, "I'll buy you tea." So when we go for tea, I finally tell him, maybe in the workshop we didn't get to know him fully. The only way I made it to the top in the petroleum industry was because Christ helped me. You didn't know that. But it would be unfair for you to try to be like me without having what I have. Jesus Christ is the one who has been helping me. So far, more than 10 young people have gotten saved. Each of them, not me going to them, they come to me for mentoring. And then they get more than mentorship. Now, and it all came from learning that with Christians with the Christians with the non-Christians so that what you are learning, of course, the reason, remember I'm answering the question, what are we celebrating about? And I'm saying the things that happen on this campus are things that go outside the campus. And that the work of this Christian Union is to prepare you for what you do outside. And my friend, if you are not doing it here, you are likely to do it there. You know, like I tell when I'm invited to the elders' night, I keep telling them, everybody tells you, you are going out there. Things are difficult. I tell them, that's a lie. The devil out was the devil in campus. Now you need to understand, many people came to first year born again. By second year they had a vaccinated, isn't it? The devil in campus is not a joke. He's a serious guy. I'm not going to get it. And the same devil will be out there. It will not be a different devil, it will be the same. The Christ that helped you on campus is the Christ out. So there isn't something, and you know that philosophy of life out of campus is tough. Is a devil's message to prepare you to backslide. Because you see, if you are told things are difficult out there, what happens? When you go and backslide, you say you understand. You know life outside is so tough. You understand why I backslid. I don't understand. The Christ who was on campus is the Christ out of campus. And that's something that we need to understand very, very, very clearly and important. I think the third or fourth thing that I remember were university outings. I don't know if they still happen. In our time, I think one we went to Gom Hills, another one we went to 14 Falls, and I think another one we went to Kilimanjaro. I can't remember where it was, but every year we had an excursion. I think I would have to consult later to be sure whether we used to call it excursion. It's more than 40 years, you can forgive us if we forget the name. Now, but the important thing is, I still remember one of those excursions when we were in 74, when we went to go. The big debate in the university bus, when there were several buses going up, was why Christian boys are boring. That is why the sisters do not date them. Amako, are you getting the message? Because they are. And of course, it can be quite a debate, isn't it? In fact, because we were past years, it was the older students who are debating that issue as we are going on. And it's important to understand, as you went for the excursion, you now saw people in a different atmosphere from the Nairobi Chapel Fellowship. Now you are relaxed, you are together, you see people when they are climbing, how they are. Now, but you can't see that in a CU meeting. You can't see that in a CU meeting. You see it, you are climbing up the mountain. Then you realize it's there in the room. Now, that's additional. But you need to understand. You need to understand that in the excursion, we would always have a speaker go up with us and speak to us, but we are allowed, we spend quite a bit. I can remember when we had to go, we climbed several mountains, so it's a long walk, and you are talking to each other, and you are open to each other. It really helped us to understand about issues of dating, issues of ensuring that you understand how you can pair up. I do remember learning it, and I think I was now second year when my roommate asked me. He said, it's dangerous to marry a graduate girl. Of course, remember, there was only the box. So then the boy students were maybe 10 times against one. So the university student girls were very, very few. But even those few, my roommate, a non-Christian, said he cannot marry any one of them. He said, why? There will be trouble in your home. They will come to bring their graduate in your house. I can't marry any of them. And then he put a caveat, except if they are born again. So I asked him, how will you marry somebody born again and you are not born again yourself? He says, it's not easy. I'll be attending the Christian Union. And then what? Now, once I tell the Christian, you will get to know each other. And you'll become friends. I'll marry them. You know a Christian one. Even if it's a graduate who is wife material. But it's otherwise. I told you. I have never forgotten what I told you. I told you. It is not difficult for you as a non-Christian to marry a Christian girl. It is impossible. It is not difficult, it is impossible. That's what we've been taught in the Christian Union. That it is not difficult, it is. Why? In the Christian Union, we are taught clearly that a Christian boy cannot marry a non-Christian girl. Asking him to marry a non-Christian girl is like asking a cow to marry a donkey. They don't. You see, as they are not from the same, when a cow is looking for somebody to marry, it looks for them a man. No. When a donkey looks for somebody to marry, it looks for them a man. Now, that's what we are taught. That we are very difficult. So, it is not difficult, it is. He said, you don't mean it. I can marry. He said, no. Please understand this. The word of God is so clear about not marrying a non-Christian that for the girl to say yes to you, she has to first of all say no to Christ. Because Christ has told her not to do it. But if you are such a good guy, she might say yes. But if you say yes after saying no, so you'll not be marrying a Christian, you'll be marrying a former Christian. That was something that was made very clear to us. And I can see from the engineer's introduction of his 8 minutes, it was clear that it has continued happening many years after that. That you need to understand that it is not difficult, it is. And the day she says yes to you, she must have said no to Christ. Of course, for that to happen, it means that you have accepted to be single. That if nobody ever proposes to you, you are better off single on your way to heaven than double on your way to heaven. Because in as long as you are desperate to get married, when no brother proposes, you will take anybody in a trouser. Now it's very important to understand that is something that I celebrate the Christian Union about. Bringing us to where it was clear. And that's not a matter of the few days. Rebecca and I got married in 1979. So next year it will be 40 years of being married. And I met her in this campus. I'm not communicating because I want. If you look and you are a cow, look a man, house. If you look and you are a donkey, look a man. Don't cross the border. It will be the DNAs will be in trouble. Are you getting the point? And I think that's a very important thing that has helped us as we have come together and live together. you discover that marriage is not an easy matter, and not one marriage. All marriages are going to be having their difficulties. In fact, I like saying it, that God set up marriage to test the fruit of the Holy Spirit. You know the fruit of the Spirit? Galatians 5:22. My wife says, not a single aspect of the fruit will not be tested in a marriage. For the fruit of the Spirit is love to be tested, joy to be tested, peace to be tested, patience to be tested. Now, all of them will be tested. No other relationship can test like that. I'm not going to get it. That's why God wants you to marry within the household of faith, because it will be tested, and you want to be able to live. You know, my wife says, you see, men and women are so different, and you're not allowed to marry another man. I'm not communicating. So the fact gender difference alone sets up marriage for trouble. Because you have wonders, what's wrong with you? Can't you think? Now, you just do that and do that and do that. This one thing to do and you can't do another. Says, what's wrong with you? Now you need to understand we are different. And in fact, opposites are church. So you start understanding that if you don't have Christ, who gives you the fruit of the Spirit, your marriage is. Now, and that's one of the things that I learned, and I have to be finishing, that I learned that as I come to celebrate the Christian Union, it was that emphasis in the Christian Union that has helped many people not to think that any figure 8 is attractive enough to be a wife. It is important to understand not every brother that is driving a Mercedes is the right person for you to marry. Let me just read as I'm going towards finishing. Ezekiel 33. But if the watchman sees the sword coming and does not blow the trumpet to warn the people, and the sword comes and takes someone's life, that person's life will be taken because of their sin. But I will hold the watchman accountable for their blood. I want to start by saying that it's a pity that we didn't invite the people who were here in 1957. There were two people who came the first. Remember, the Royal Technical College was a university college of the University of London. And basically, you came here after Form 4, did Form 5 and 6, and did 3 years of the university. So from the people who went at 57, stayed here 5 years. So they were finishing 60-something. 62, is it? That's when they finished. So they were here. And you have the Bishop Gitari was one of the leaders, but he has died. David Musebi has retired here in Kangudo. My suggestion is, within the next 1 month or so, because I was not able to surrender, you ask me for the telephone number. We need to ask him to come, so the people of the 70s are not the one talking about the 50s. Because he's alive, he should be able to tell you about the CEO in 1957. Would you be interested? Yes. So between me and Wesonga, we take that assignment to bring him. Of course, they are in the 80s. Remember, they were around 20 in 1957. 60 years later, they can't be less than 80. They are going to have 90. And we'll have to organize how to ferry him here. You don't ask him to drive, not in his 80s. So we may have to drive him here. Then he speaks, and then he can go back. Would that be acceptable? Yeah, but he's not the only one. You have in the immediate generation, that's 50s. The 60s, we still have one of the CU leaders was Professor Tanitwala, the founder of DESTA, and he's still around. He just lives on Mombasa Road. Again, between Wesonga and myself, a different Sunday, and they're not being asked to come and speak. It's to share testimony. Would you be interested? Because they are now retired in their 70s or 80s, and they need to share how the Lord laid the foundations for what happening in the 1960s. These are the people that were being prepared for independent Kenya, and they're the ones who came in those years just before. They entered the university before the 60s. Then in 1961, 62, Kenya decided to start A-levels. And from then onwards, the people coming were not coming for 5 years. They started coming for 3 years, which is now our group. We'll do 4 years at Form 4, 2 years in A level, then come here for 3 years. I'm ready to share with them. So there are several people in their 60s, but if we could get one from the 50s and one in the 60s, I think that would be good. The other thing I'm suggesting is there are some of you who really can write the history of the Christian Union, isn't it? And the trouble is, we kept, in fact, one of the meetings we brought the David Italy here. But once you are in your 80s, if you got to be with the Lord, we don't say a young man has gone. Am I right? So if you want to write the history, it is now or never. Am I communicating? It's now or never. Because we cannot ask them to stay much longer and they want to go and rejoice with the Lord. So it's important for us to find a way during this celebration of recording down those early years of the, and once you talk to the 157, if there is anybody else alive, they will tell you something. If you talk to Taritola, who was here 62, she was here I think 62 to 66, again he will tell you about others who are alive. And we need to see whether we can form a team, either among the alumni or among the CU members, and set up a committee. There's already a lot of work that can record down, even if the draft is not readable, at least it should be left here. Then somebody else can make it readable. I'm not communicating. For now, all you need is a gadget to talk to them, take what they are saying, let the material be available. You can transcribe it to become written. Somebody else, even if it's not done this year or next, it needs to be left available. Are we together? The other thing I'm suggesting as part of that history is creating a digital album that will take all photographs that have been taken of the Christian Union from 1957 to date. Now, we are not asking any of the associates to surrender their pictures. We are asking them to take a photograph of the picture and send it to a songwriter. His job will be to create a digital album where all of us can watch without surrendering out. Associates, is that possible? Yes. Do you have pictures of your days in campus? Yes. Can you email them to a songwriter? Yeah, that you can see they have already accepted. So it's important that we do that, so that we do not, as we celebrate 60 years, we should be aware that according to the Bible, the years of a man are 60 and a half. That means 70. So if you stay longer without recording, it will be difficult to get the old information out of it. And I thought I need to mention that we have the 7 days are many. Because the 7 days, we decided not to disappear. And so we decided to form a fellowship. We call ourselves the flame from the 7 days. There is always a debate as to whether we are the flame of the 7 days. We say no, we are still there. It's not a flame that went off. We are still alive. So we are the flame from the 7 days. We are still on. And we meet at least once every 3 months. It's a way of ensuring that those who want to backslide because they are old are not allowed. We challenge each other. It's a way of showing you not to become an old bitter man, but an exciting old man who is a grandfather and doing ministry. That's how we meet. So we meet to, first of all, to minister to each other, encourage one another, and we move from house to house. Another time we were in Kalonzo's house. He has also come to another meeting. Kalonzo was the secretary of the Sunday Service Committee, 1975. When I was chairman of the university CU, he was the secretary to the Sunday Service Committee. So we try to look for one another. And I'm now hoping that those of you in the 80s will start your fellowship. Hands up, 80s. I saw your hands. 80s, hands up. Or you disappeared again. Now, Wasonga, your job is to ensure that 80s start their fellowship. Am I communicating? Because even if there are 5, the quantity is not the issue, the quality. I'm not complicating. So it's important to understand. When we celebrated 25 years, we were celebrating 25 years, the first time we did a celebration. I think we were celebrating 50 years. And people were very disappointed by the numbers that turned up. I told them, there is something wrong with your numbering. I was told, first of all, remember from 57 all the way to 62, nobody was graduating. Did I tell you? They are doing 5 years. Am I communicating? So that the people graduating are graduating in the 60s. Then I asked Atunazalitola, how many of you were graduating each year? And he told me there will be 5 to 10. So look from 60 to 69, if you do an average of 7 times 10, 7. How many of those have died? Now, how many have died? Am I communicating? So that even if 10 come, it's a big percentage of those alive. Others are settled in the US, others in Australia. We are only preventing the ones that are in Kenya. Am I communicating? So it's important. So 8 days. I'm suggesting that you actually get together. I need to give you a reason for it. I told you the first reason is we need to socialize. Remember what we were taught in the CU? The importance of socializing with Christians. And it's important that we look for a way of ensuring that we go. Number two, so as you understand why we are looking for the fellowship of the 8 days. Since they look for every time we meet, we are excited about people we have not seen for a long time. And that excitement not only does the first thing of encouraging you to be a Christian, we challenge each other in ministry. We challenge each other, what are you doing? Do you do anything for the University of Nairobi Christian Union? So it's important that we don't just disappear aside. Come together, because then you not only encourage spiritual nurture, in addition to that, you encourage people to be involved in student work. But finally, you ask them, what are you doing in your church? Now, unfortunately, for most of us, once you're over 65, many churches think you are too old to be an elder. So I don't know what you are. If you cannot even be accepted as an elder. But the point is, we can share with each other what you can do in your 70s and 80s to continue serving the Lord. But the last thing that's important is that many people who are in their 60s and 70s are very difficult to evangelize. But they can be evangelized by the age mates. Would you agree with me? So the 80s will form a group that will reach out to others who are of the same age. That's 80s. 90s is Boga. That's his age. There are so many of you. And you can start the fellowship of the 90s. Now, the ones of the new millennium, you can continue being one big group. But these other ones are rare. 90 means how many years ago? 1990. The people who left 1990. How many years have they been out of campus? How many years? Yeah. So they are the kind of people where they are children at the university. And in the process, that's why I'm thinking it will be important for them to be dealt with. So I thought that as we finish, it will be important to understand this watchman business is not just watchman in campus. It needs to be watchman even after campus. Are we together? So we need to care for each other. And I'm not suggesting that we meet every day. I know you're involved in church, you're involved in other things. Even if you meet only twice in a year, it will be enough to challenge one another. So I'm not suggesting that you stop being. Anyway, I finish with this. We had a card. We were given when I came in. There was a card that had the program and had the aims of the Christian Union. Let me tell you what was written on the card. It said the mission. I don't think we called it mission. We called it aim. Mission is a recent word. I think we used to call them aim of the Christian Union. Is to bring people to the knowledge of Jesus Christ. To bring people to the knowledge of Jesus Christ. And to nurture them in their faith. And to grow them in leadership. I hope the three are still happening. That the Christian Union should be counting. If it wants to count its success, a month counting how many people have gotten saved this semester. That's the reason we exist, to bring people to knowledge of Jesus Christ. You can't say you are succeeding if people are not coming. Jesus. And although it's not your responsibility to save, it's your responsibility to challenge. Are we together? And that's important. So you need to ask yourself, how well are you doing in that area? Number two, the second thing is, we exist to nurture. I think now focus calls it discipleship. And I think it will be important to ask, do you understand that the Christian Union is a Bible school? That when you graduate and you become a DO in Madeira, and there is a Sunday Christian Union, it's called a church. There's a church there. My friend, once a year you have come from the CU, you make you a preacher. Now you are not aware, you are doing engineering in the University of Nairobi. You never knew you are being prepared to be a preacher. And I know that happens. Another time I taken my family to Lake Bogoria, and we were looking for a place for a church. Then we remembered on our break, we had seen a church. So we woke up early in the hotel to go to the church. When we went to the church and sat at a very big church just near Lake Bogoria. As we went to the church, we sat down and we are singing with them. After some time, the speaker said that we have a visiting speaker. So we are looking around for the visiting speaker. My family is also watching to see who is the speaker. Then the guy started looking at me. Now, you know I have done it to go and preach. Later then I asked him, have you ever seen me? No, but then you can preach. It's important to understand when you're in this campus, you should not just get a BSc in engineering. You must get a BSc in theology. Am I communicating? So therefore, the CU program might be a Bible school program. Like I was telling people in Chuka last week, nobody should graduate out of the Christian Union before they have attended Ezra. For you to call yourself a graduate and you have never attended Ezra, you are fake. Because you see, you are prepared to be an engineer. Are you prepared to rightly divide the word of truth? That's why Focus organizes Ezra. Make sure you don't graduate before you attend Ezra. It's important. That's why the CU exists. And hopefully, the General Secretary is here. We need to move Ezra from being done elsewhere to be done by Christian Union. So that it becomes something you don't have. It's not a place you go. Ezra comes instead of you going to Ezra. So that, first of all, you start on Friday, through on Saturday, through Sunday, and you do that 2 weekends. Brother Bello, it can be done, isn't it? So it's important to understand that the CU, what we celebrate about the CU is preparation. Did I know when I left University 77 what was going to happen? I was looking for a job. Then I got a telephone call. The first call I got is to come back to campus and be a speaker. That was September 1977. The first time I was invited by a campus to speak was September 1977. As I'm doing that, I got another call from Kenyatta College, which was then a college at the University of Nairobi. Then I got from a high school. How did that happen? Most likely, it's because the people that were raised in the CU, those days of education, and they had gone everywhere. And they remembered me sharing something in the fellowship, and they wanted me to share it with the students. And that thing started 1977 up to now. In a year of 52 weeks, I never have more than 10 weekends where I choose where to go. And it's all because of the preparation was given by the Christian. So you need to understand that if you want to serve the Lord, the CU must understand it's not just evangelism. Discipleship, nurture, must be something emphasized, both in the normal program of the CU, but in addition to that, through Ezra. I think it's something that we are going to do. The other thing I tell students, you should not graduate before you are prepared for mission work. And that's why every CU member must attend commission. Commission was organized to be once in the life of a student. Remember those days, it was 3 years. It was supposed to be one. Nobody was allowed to leave campus before they have attended commission. Why? Because commission, discipleship helps you to know how to, what it is you are sharing. Commission teaches you where and who to go to. Am I communicating? So how do you want to be a graduate and you have not been trained in that area? But being a teacher of commission, it is university mission. Where are you going this year? Where they mentioned this year? What the CU mentioned this year? Which place in Kenya are you going? Oh yeah, the CU has not decided. We have not decided yet. Now it's important to understand in your 4 years here, make sure you go at least once. Why? It is going there for the first time, wondering how to talk to strangers, and discovering that strangers can get saved. That will give you the confidence to sit in a Los Angeles, Amsterdam flight and talk to a millennial. Am I communicating? It is supposed to be land here, not there. If you don't land it here, every time you sit, how am I teaching me? Now, but if you need to go somewhere where you discover that you are not eatable, am I communicating? One of the things you used to do is to go to Central Park on a Sunday afternoon, and so that you learn how to talk to people when they are resting, charity with the gospel. It's important to learn how to witness. Now, my time is up, but it's my prayer that as we celebrate these 60 years, that every one of us associates will ask, of those 4 or 5 things I've mentioned, what are you doing with what God gave you there? In your place of work, have you learned how to socialize with the Christians and evangelize? And Christians. What are you doing? In your family, are you involved in systematic daily quiet time? Again, I'm discovering something that is very new. When we came to campus, every beginning of the year, the CU would bring us daily power and daily guides. Where they used to be called, those days they had big titles. The person selling the book was called bookshop manager. He was called a bookshop manager. He could be there, selling daily power and daily guides. Has anybody ever heard of an animal called daily power? Answer, those who have ever heard of it. Okay, those who have used one, answer. Well, the first time I did that, Brother Ogara, was in one university in the 90s. I was in shock. I'm discovering that many students don't have systematic daily quiet time. It was a big deliverable for the CU in those days. Teaching somebody, before you move on to morning glory, you must meet God more than you must meet God on your own. Now, students rise up and run to a noisy place. Now, before noisy place, you must have a quiet. And we have to find a way of course, it's a failure in your party, you have to say, because we never talk to you. But you need to start a safety of reading the Bible from cover. I know you use daily bread, but daily bread, even if you read daily bread for 100 years, you never know the Bible. It gives you a verse at the top, and then the comment is fantastic. That's good. But you know, a textbook is not money. You can read my books, but it's not a textbook. What is our textbook? The Bible. Any system you use that is not helping you to read the Bible from cover to cover, you need to suspend it as quickly as. What I do for me is I use a method helping me to go through the Bible in the morning. Then in the afternoon or evening, I use a different method. Now I can do daily bread. Because if daily bread is even in your classes, the lecturer always gives you a textbook and then a supplementary books. Your Bible is a textbook. So you need to choose a time. The key word I'm using is systematic. Systematic means you must know that James chapter 3 was written before James chapter 4. Am I communicating? So you must read the book, chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, systematically. Am I communicating? And it must be all. Are you aware that you can never understand the book of Hebrews if you never read the Leviticus? And you can never understand the Leviticus if you never read Hebrews. But many people who jump around the Bible never read the Leviticus. It's too boring. But what we don't understand is And somebody said, and I agree with them, do you understand that the New Testament is actually the Old Testament concealed? When you are reading the Old Testament, you are reading the New Testament, but it is concealed. And the Old Testament is in the New Testament revealed. Let me now repeat the Old Testament. The New Testament is in the Old Testament concealed. And the Old Testament is the New Testament, and the Bible is not the New Testament. The Bible is not the Old Testament. The Bible is from Genesis to Revelation. And if this revelation can change your direction, to make a commitment, to read the Bible from cover to cover, you finish. I taught this in 1968 as a Form 1. The importance of that. That's why I call first God my divine daily power. And they tell you, if you are using daily power, you are going to cover the whole Bible in 7 years. Then after that, I dropped the daily power, started using daily time. They told me that daily time, I'll cover the Bible in 5 years. In those last 50 years, I have no idea how many times I've covered the Bible from cover to cover. But even the book I read this morning is fresh. That's what makes the Bible living word, isn't it? So I am not telling you to stop going for morning glory. I want to say, don't do it before you have your quiet. And quiet time must be quiet. I'm not going to do it. In other words, it's not reading with others. You read on your own. Ask God what you are talking to me about. So those are the things I thought I would share, the things that I benefited from the Christian Union. And pray that even in your time, these are things you are going to question. As an associate, how is your Bible reading? One of the things that I'm now talking to associates, one of the things I discovered when I got married in 1979, and now we are just the two of us in a house, two-bedroom house. I discovered that we are praying all the time, but praying together. Then I discovered it's a long time since I read the Bible or prayed on my own. That's when we agreed with Rebecca. It's important, even if you are married, you must leave God on your own. You know, sometimes my Rebecca wants to tell God that John is a problem. How would you do that? It is important to understand this idea of meeting God on your own. It's not something you do for 2 years. Even after you are married, you must learn to meet God on your own. Of course, the family doctor is still important.